Word on the street is that President Trump is requiring all federal employees to return to the office full time. And folks are stressing out about it. Let's get to it. All right, gang. So President Trump wants for federal employees, not contractors necessarily, not yet anyway, but federal employees, so folks who get a paycheck from the federal government every 2 weeks or every month, to return to the office and work from the office Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And folks are really stressed out about it. But here's the thing. It's not just President Trump who's been moving these kinds of initiatives forward. Even in Portland, Oregon, our new mayor, Keith Wilson, expressed a very similar call to action. Keith wanted the entire city of Portland workforce to return to office Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day, in perpetuity. Got some pushback from the union, but he is requiring that of the non-rep employees and management to return to the office. By the way, I don't like it when people say return to work. Don't make it seem like folks were just on vacation for the past several years when we actually were working from home. People were still working. Now, with that being said, it's not just government who has been really open about the fact that this work from home phenomenon is not working out ideally for a variety of reasons. And quite frankly, even many employees who work from home, consistently, predominantly, they've expressed to us via our culture assessments that they love working from home. They don't want that flexibility to be removed from their repertoire, but they miss connectivity, they miss building relationships, they miss understanding what other divisions or verticals inside the organization, what they're working on. They feel out of sync with what's happening with the organization and by and large disconnected. Now, both things can be true. I can feel disconnected and want connections and not want you to require me to be in the office 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, right? So I advise people all the time to try to find a middle ground where you can have, and I've talked about this before on previous Word on the Streets, right? The future is going to be people coming back and working in the office together. That is the future. I said this 2 years ago, and everything has been moving in that direction. But I've tried to say going back to 2019, 2015 is not the future. What does a hybrid look like? Like, how could that work? Can you have core days where you're working together Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays where you pick 2 out of the 3, or you're there for the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the Monday and Friday are the flex days, or there are 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then another faction of the workforce are there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, there's so many different configurations to make this thing work out. I am personally not a huge fan of the required 8 hours a day, 5 days a week in the office. I think that it's an antiquated design. I think it fuels burnout. And I also think that it can lead to folks just being deeply dissatisfied with their work environment. However, I was never a huge proponent of the exclusively working virtual either. As a people and culture expert, I walk into these environments and there is a lot more suspicion. There are a lot more easy graders and hard graders. There's a lot more just kind of questioning the intentions behind certain decisions that are made. I haven't seen it just be ideal or optimal, especially if there are 50 or more employees. I've seen it work for smaller boutique places where there are 10, 20, 30 employees. But when you get to that 100, 1,000, you start to see that culture, the relationship dynamics, the creativity, the trust, the sense of belonging, the fellowship, the togetherness is just not as promising. Now, I know that this is not popular opinion. I get that. But I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on the ground. We can be frustrated that Trump has the audacity to call people back to the office, and I understand that. We can be frustrated that our new mayor in Portland is expressing that he wants folks in the city of Portland to come back into the office to make sure that the services are responsive to the needs of the residents, of the voters of the city of Portland. I get it. We can be frustrated about that. or we can try to figure out where is the middle ground where we can have flexibility, but we can also have a strong, rich, nimble, responsive workplace culture, morale, where folks are being responsive to the needs of their consumer, of their client, or of their voters, right? Where's the middle ground? So I love to have you jump into the chat and talk about the fact, your perspective on the reality that there are going to be more expectations for a return to office. There will be more in-person expectations, and that's going to continue to be a groundswell over the next couple years. I want to hear your perspective. I want you to tell me, the stories, and let's brainstorm together what a middle ground could look like. So thanks for watching this episode of Word on the Street. Jump in the chat and let us know if you have any questions.